Hello, good afternoon, you guys, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, come on, man, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. So make sure you guys please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay. You guys, I want to talk about two things today. I was just getting ready to do a live. I was like, I got some work I gotta do and I gotta finish some stuff. And so I was like, I'm gonna go and do a quick video because I was intending to do this yesterday. Shout out to Steven. Yesterday when I was on live, we kind of talked about it. And I did show you guys this yesterday. Um, like right after he posted it, okay? But he took it down. Okay, he left it up for a couple hours and he took it down, Straightdropp. But let's talk about Hernandez Govan first, okay? He went to court today and he did plead not guilty. Okay, he did plead not guilty, as we, felt like he would do. Okay, it says the man acquitted and the young Dolph unalive pleaded not guilty to a cyber stalking charge on Monday. Hernandez Govan is still being held without bond and is in custody. The case will now be going to Judge Norris' courtroom. A date has not been scheduled for the next hearing. He just was involved in a situation and his name was in the public eye, but definitely is not the type of case that would normally see in federal court. Definitely does not seem like the kind of case that would be a high public regard normally, said John Keith Perry, his defense attorney. Perry said he will push for him to be released while the case makes its way through the system. He has confidence in the system. He thinks that at the end of the day, his name will be exonerated. It's not the type of standard case that would lead to this accusation normally. If you loan a person money and they say it is a loan for a specific reason and they don't do so and don't give you your money back and you're saying things that are agitating towards you and they're saying things that are agitating towards you, what would you do in that situation? If you're agitated about your money and that was it, there's not a complicated, complex series of messages that would normally go with this type of case, said Perry. Govan was expected to appear before a federal judge on a cyber stalking incident after weeks of court hearing tied to alleged threats against a woman. He was arrested last month after Memphis police said a warrant was issued charging him with stalking. Investigators say the charges stem from domestic related incident reported on June 4th. Police allege Govan repeatedly harassed the victim, threatened to have someone shoot up her home, and threatened to post explicit content on social media. He was initially given a $4,000 bail. But days later, he was taken into federal custody after the FBI complaint was filed in connection with the cyber stalking in federal court last month. Text messages and a voice memo was discussed, and prosecutors argued Govan should remain detained. Now they're saying they don't know when he's going to go back to court or anything like that. I thought he had to be back in court in August to try, and you don't really get bonds in the feds. I thought he would be back to try and discuss getting out. So they said they don't know when he will be back in court. So it'd be interesting to see if he goes back next month. I don't really know, what they're going to argue, um, because they're saying that the feds normally don't pick up cases like this. But here's the thing: they can do it. They can. What they're doing is not against the law. They just don't do it as often. Okay, so just because they don't do it as often, they can't argue that they can't do it because what he did is you can be charged federally for it, and they didn't pass on him. Okay, so it's not like that they are it's against the law what they're doing. It's not illegal. Okay, he can be charged federally. So I don't know. I kind of don't think that Govan is going to get off with this. I don't, because they have all of the evidence that they need. In his own words, as I was saying earlier this morning, he has said himself that he did not abide by the rules when he was out on bond. So, by his own account, why would they let him out on bond again? So that he can violate the bond. Okay. And if something happens to the girl, the city's, uh, this, yeah, she could sue, um, and yeah, she could sue the feds. Her family can sue the feds, and if she survives, she could. And they can, they could really break the bank on the feds. But she, her family, because I'm pretty sure he would make sure that she didn't survive if he was to launch an attack on her. Um, and which there are rumors out there that he's known for doing, allegedly. Okay, so I don't think they want to take that chance. They're gonna make him wait and go to trial more than likely, and I don't think he's gonna make it out of there either. Okay, I don't think he's gonna make it up out of there. He can't use his. I don't think they're gonna even let him use his, his son, because I'm pretty sure his son has a caretaker. Because he's been in jail now for what, almost a month or over a month. Yeah. So his son has a mom. Um, so they're gonna look at that. Um, it's just, I think they feel like, because the magistrate said, in his own words, are we gonna wait? We cannot afford to wait until he does something to her. So evidently they just feel like he's too dangerous to be out. And I think a lot of what he freely said after he was found not guilty can corroborate that. So, hey, I thought he was going back to court in August, but hey, I don't know why in the back of my mind I feel like they intercepted something, because you hear everybody talk about, his friend, the truth, his ex friend, the truth, said that he got word that, for he's the truth typed in my chat and said, listen, I got word from whoever, I don't know who, I need to stay out the way, get out the way, stay out of it, because he ain't gonna make it. Okay, if they get their hands on him, he ain't gonna make it. Mr. N got on my show, said they put him in population, he ain't gonna make it. They let him come back outside, he ain't gonna make it. I don't believe in violence. I hope that wouldn't happen. But in this street stuff, who knows what these, what these street dudes really be in, right? And he said a whole lot while he was out, so it just ain't no telling. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how this is going to turn out. I think he's going to go to trial. He might plead. If he go to trial, he's going to do all 5 years. Okay, I think they're going to make him do all five. If he doesn't go to trial, if he pleads out, um, I don't know. Will he still have to do five? I mean, because you think about 5 years. I mean, pleading out. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I got to see if he pleads, because I can't see quit doing five, wanting to do 5 years. Hold on, you all. They said five. Let's see. Okay, so they may give him 2 and 3 years of supervised release, and a $250,000 fine. So if he pleads out, they may give him 2 years and 3 years of supervised release. Okay. In which he's already proved that being supervised don't mean nothing. Um, it says pleading does not guarantee a 5 year cap or a light sentence. The actual time was served depends on several compounding factors dictated by the federal sentencing guidelines. Okay. Okay. So he will more than likely do two, and the other three they may supervise it if he pleads out. But I don't think Quit want to do 2 years, 24 months in solitary confinement. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this turns out. Okay. Now, last night, you all, when I was on live, of course, shout out to the Steve dog, the Steve-O. That's what we call him, Steve-O. Shout out to Steve-O, Steven, of course, um, who's always, looking for new things to pop up. And he told me, check your messages. And I checked my messages, and Straightdropp had posted something in his messages last night while I was on live. Okay. And I was intending to do a video after I got off, but I ended up falling out and going to sleep. Auntie been working on this schoolwork, got Auntie tired. It's been working my brain. Okay. Okay, let me pull this up. Steven said he took it down, so I hope that he screenshot it. Okay, he did. Okay. As y'all see, it says he had just posted it 44. He had just posted it 44 minutes last night ago. But he didn't leave it up. He took it down. Okay. Um and he posted a picture of Jook. Of course, we played the song, Lil Durk's song, Save Me. And we was talking about it may have had like a subliminal message to it. And um hold on, you guys. Um and so then what he does is he goes into his archives and in his messages, and shows messages, okay, between he and Jook, um a month before Dolph was killed. Okay. And it says the story is unavailable. He says, never we gonna reply to your story. So I guess that's Big Jook. Yep. Big Jook says to him, never we gonna forever win, with the heart. And then he comments back to Big Jook. This was September 19th of 2021, exactly a month and a half before they killed Dolph. And he puts a heart forever. It says, you mentioned Big Jook in your story. There was another heart. I mean, they just, and then October 1st, it was no words. They just heart each other. Okay. Jook sends a heart. Straightdropp sends a heart. Okay. And I mean, what made Straightdropp, okay, want to put that up now? Is it Big Jook's birthday? I don't think so. Let me see. Okay, Big Jook's birthday is September the 4th. So it wasn't his birthday. All of a sudden he decides to put that up in his story, of course, and then he leaves it up a little while and he takes it down. I'm pretty sure that the song and him showing those messages of them communicating a month before Dolph was killed. He's sending a message. I know Gotti has to have a lot of pressure on him because he has to continuously feeding the beast, okay, and keeping the beast gratified, at least some type of gratification as it relates to that situation. If not, the beast gonna eat him up. So he has to constantly feed him so that he does not get eaten. So I know that has to be a stressful situation. I told you all, a young man that's 27, 28 years old, that's been in jail now for 5 years and looking at 2 life sentences, he was not going to want to do that. Okay, Straightdropp wants to be out, and I think he's gotten the opportunity, and his family too, um, has gotten the opportunity to see that people only say drop taking it like a champ, so that they gas him up as he gets older. That's not gonna mean shit to him anyways. He's gonna know that he's had a fool being made out of him. Okay, and which he is where he's supposed to be, because Drop thought that he was gonna come up off of the back of killing young Dolph. Right, he thought he was gonna ride into the sunset, as Paul Hagerman said. He thought he was just gonna get away with it and be famous. Okay, which is crazy and ludicrous to everybody, right? And so he was younger, he was younger, he was immature. Um, but now he's thinking about some things. He's showing the communication. Hey, Jook is no longer with us. Jook can't give him anything. Jook can't save him. So who is he talking to? Right? Who is he talking to? So I wouldn't want to be YOGOTTI. I wouldn't. He can't get to Straightdropp at this point, and he can't trust no. He can't trust nobody. He can't send no hits because right now, because folks gonna look at him as somebody um, that they can um, get. What's the word that I'm looking for? Um, they can get. They can either blackmail or get favors if they are in trouble. Okay, he would be a good bait. Okay, I listen. Your guy to try to pay me to do this. All right. So yeah, he can't really do that because he'll end up in a situation like Lil Durk faster than he's already gonna be. He really is already in a situation. He just was not around the people, okay, like that. He sent his brother out to be around them more so. Dirk was right in the midst of it, okay. But he was around Straightdropp. He was around Quet, okay. And so that alone, I know, has to have him stressed out, right? Not only that, but you got a lot. You got his artists and stuff saying they ready to get off. Okay, they ready to get off of. They disgruntled. Okay, his artist saying they wants to get off of there. I'm trying to. Is it right here? Yeah, Block Boy JB. Okay, Block Boy JB is tired. Okay, Block Boy JB said they're not treating him right over there at CMG. He says, "I love making music, but I'm finna just give up and be done. It's just some of the shit that's been going on is not for me. I can't drop no music. I can do 50 songs today and still couldn't drop nothing. Feel like they waiting on me to die or some. If a ninja ever tell you I ain't working, that shit cap." Okay. So he's disgruntled. Why they won't let Black Boy JB drop no music? Okay. Hold on for a second. I don't know when he dropped that post. Okay, let's see. Block Boy JB. Hold on. It says Block Boy JB has expressed his frustration with Yo Gotti's collective music group, hinting at feelings of being undervalued by the label's corporate side and frustrated with the financial structure of his deal. He's expressed discontentment with how corporate office at CMG values his work. He noted the stark contrast between street authenticity and label contracts, stating that the corporate side might not value local talent while his exact contractual status is unclear. His lyrics reflect the common struggle of veteran artists in major label systems feeling like they aren't getting the return that they deserve. I wonder, do they miss Dolph now? I wonder, do they miss him? When God was giving them advance because they didn't have nothing. They was wanting Dolph dead. Yeah, yeah, bro. We'll ride. We'll die for this shit. God was signing them in them slave deals. Okay, was mad at Dolph for trying to kick knowledge. You think about Jesus Christ. They hated Jesus Christ and hung him on the cross and killed him. And he was going from city to city healing them ninjas. Okay, and they were ninjas because Jesus walked around Ethiopia and places like that. He had eyes of fire, skin of coal. I don't know a white man or no Jewish man or no Hispanic man, nothing that sound like a black man, hair like wool. Okay, and he walked all around Ethiopia and places like that. Okay, so he was doing that for them ninjas, and they didn't appreciate him, and then got jealous of him because he could perform the miracles even though he was helping them. Okay, and hung him on the cross and killed him, right? uh and then missed him. They ended up missing him. Okay, I wonder, do they miss Dolph now? Okay, and I'm not saying that Dolph is Jesus Christ, but I mean, there are always similar stories, right? These same Negroes that was sitting up saying, we'll die about Gotti, we'll die about this, we'll do this. Yeah, F Dolph, F Dolph. Yeah, we'll kill Dolph about Gotti. All he was trying to do was kick some knowledge to them brothers so that they could, about creating generational wealth. I wonder if they miss him now. Now they disgruntled, and Dolph has ascended to another level, and God is stressed out because he got to constantly feed that beast in jail that seems to be getting disgruntled every time he think about them 2 life sentences that he's got. He gonna end up talking. You got another one that had already started talking. Okay, he only want to do 2 years. Okay, so I know he got to be stressed out. Okay, so yeah, so Block Boy, JB, um, he just seemed like he unhappy. And maybe Black Boy JB didn't have no issues with Young Dog. Okay, I've never heard about that. On Instagram, it says Block Boy JB reveals he will not be dropping his new mixtape today out of respect for Tay Keith. Okay, so he didn't drop it that day for out of respect for Tay Keith. Okay, let's see. Um, maybe Block Boy JB. Let me tell you something, darling. When I start talking, okay, God it moves. You probably gonna get your tape dropped, okay? But you got to be real careful, okay? Let me see. Because they'll drop it just and set you up for failure so that they can say this is to make themselves look good. This is why we didn't want to drop it. We told him it wasn't ready, but since he wanted it, we did it. But all the time they didn't set you up for failure. Okay. They've orchestrated the failure. You better ask Black Youngster. Okay. But yeah, got y'all Straightdropp in there, posting up. What's the purpose of Straightdropp posting up something like that? Okay, what is the purpose of it? It serves no purpose. Straightdropp ain't said nothing about Juke since Juke has been unalived. And then he, post Drake's song Save Me while, showing Juke. Juke is not here with us anymore. So Juke can't save him. So it's definitely a subliminal. And then you show you and Juke's messages. Okay. You pull messages out of your archives from 2021, exactly a month and a half to exactly a month before y'all take Young Dolph out. What's the purpose of that? What was the purpose? I mean, it's not even coming up as a memory because I mean they were sent in September and in October of 2021, so it's not coming up as a memory. Or memory comes up the exact day years later that it was posted. So it was definitely a subliminal. Straightdropp saying he want to be saved. Okay, I wonder if they'll be questioning him about some more murders since Quet in jail. Like Quet might be repaying Straightdropp back for what he did to Quet because he did tell on Quet. Okay, he just decided he didn't want to get on the stand. He let Cornelius get on the stand and do it. He was the one feeding Cornelius a lot of that stuff that Cornelius has been telling. And so I believe Quet, who's very vindictive, okay, who I think has an issue with all the Trula Mafia guys. to be honest with you. He has an issue with them. He just smiled with them so he can get up under them and get them to do some things for him, so he can have leverage over them, and then he dangled it over their heads. Okay, I think he really has an issue with all of them because he felt like they all, to include Jook, was going to set him up, quit up to take the fall. Okay, and then maybe Drop could have got out, and it would have been Drop and Cornelius, like Cornelius initially said. I think they were all on board, and them young dudes was stupid enough to let Quit get back up under them, and now he get ready to send some of them to jail. Okay, for things that he knows that they have done. That's why he dangles some stuff and said, well, Teaser was killed by his friends. And I think it's a darn shame because Teaser didn't have any beef with those truly guys. Teaser loved those guys. I'm telling you what I was told by an officer, one of the investigators that had gotten Teaser down there and questioned him. Teaser wouldn't tell on Devin Burns. He wouldn't tell on none of them other truly guys. But when it came to Quet, it was a different story, and he was straight A1 loyal to Straightdropp. Okay, okay. But when it came, he didn't know nothing about Jook like that. But when it came to Quet, okay, he had an issue, and he had an issue because he felt like Quet and Quet and maybe Jook, but I know Quet. He felt like Quet was not doing straight dropping them right. I told y'all the rumor was that Quet got that money, a big duffel bag full of money. Now that is allegedly that he got that money. He got that money that night, and he played like he didn't. Okay, but I don't know. Anyways, that's just a rumor. But anyways, you guys, all of this is interesting. We'll see how this turns out. Um, I think about what the Bible says, that they come at you one way and flee in 7 different ways. And I've been saying this for the whole 5 years. God confuses the language. They come at you one way, the enemy comes at you one way, and they start scattering out in 7 different ways. In other words, I always said they start fighting with each other. God confuses the language. This is a prime example. Okay, I knew it was going to happen. Anyways, you guys, I got to get started on my homework and get finished doing my kitchen, child. Because they ain't taking the rest of them cans out because they ain't do that. Okay, but I ain't want them to do it because they've been through all my good cans away. Anyways, you guys, I want you all to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can definitely support the channel via Cash App. You're going to get a whooping. Leave him alone.